Why, hello there. Good morning, everyone. Good to see you. Hello. Paul Trini here. Hello, Alyssa, Sam, Sean, Steven, Steve. Everybody's in the house. Sorry for the slight delay, but I just booked my vaccine appointment. So that's big news in Paul country here. So super happy about that, and I'm happy you guys are here. So happy Monday to you all. Hopefully you can see and hear me loud and clear, and happy Monday to everybody from Chicago. I always love hearing where people are from. It just kind of lets me kind of escapism, imagining where you live, right? Super fun. But we have a fun day planned, just so you know, an awesome week. I want to talk about the guests, some news, kind of click through new creative, community spotlight, some free stuff, questions and tips. That's what's happening. Good evening, Oyvind. Good to have you here. Awesome. Yeah, they accepted my appointment. We'll see what happens. All right. Just kind of want to go through the creative real fast. I'm so thankful you guys are here. I really appreciate you. Frank is never late. He is always right on time, right when he needs to be here. Frank is here. We can begin, everyone. But we have some cool designers and yeah, mainly a lot of cool designers, illustrators, UX, UI happening. Illustration, UX, UI today, just so you know. We got Mark Ogan. I don't know how to say his last name, but I'll find out today, which that'll be pretty cool. He does really cool work. Yeah, you got to check it out. In fact, I'm going to probably pull up his work right now. Julian Crispo as well. Bam, right here, doing some UX, UI. Nathaniel Dodson, known as Tootvid or Tutvid, however you want to pronounce it. He's going to be with us Wednesday and Thursday. And then Shanti, let's go right here. Shanti Sparrow as well, doing some graphic design, using some InDesign, stuff like that. So that'll be pretty cool. I'll be hosting her. And it's going to be a lot of fun. So Chris Olson, yeah, wherever the day may find you, hopefully it's treating you well, or the evening, whatever the case may be. But let's check out Mark's work. You can kind of easily click on their profiles. You can see the schedule actually below, but if I share my screen, you'll be able to see Mark's work. What I really like about Mark's work is the simple graphic sort of animation that takes place. So let's pull up some of these. I'd figure out which one I was playing yesterday. His Monsters show. That's not the one I'm looking for. Posters. Here we go. Posters. These sort of graphic posters that animate. And tell me this isn't cool. It's just awesome, right? Buy art, not cocaine, people. All right? That's just a good life lesson. Right? Just buy art, not cocaine. Right? Climate is changing. Ignorance is not. So again, strong design, strong messages with a point of view, and then cool animation to bring it to life. So I'm really looking to Mark's. Sorry for that explicit one there. Apologies. But you guys get the idea. So Mark's going to be a lot of fun. I love it. I love the amazing guests. You just get to turn on your little TV, as in your browser, and kind of dive in. Julian has done some daily creative challenges for us, so his is going to be really informative. So he will be with us this afternoon, and of course has cool work as well. So his will be fun to learn from. Of course, Tutvid, Nathaniel Dodson. I get a kick out of these two pictures if we dive into this. Hey, look at these two pictures. He's pretty cool. He's like, hey, what's up? You know he borrowed that jacket. I'm just I'm messing with Nathaniel. I love the guy, but I am giving him a hard time. It's like, yeah, let's do the playful one and then the serious side. But anyway, he's gonna be awesome. Probably one of the best Photoshop instructors out there. So, pretty cool. What's going on, Megan? Hello, Shanti Sparrow as well. Again, similar style. I really like how polished her work is, right? It's easy to make things complex and messy, but I just love how, just how graphic her pieces are. So, a lot of graphic design this week, which is cool. So, and yes, as you did notice, Robert, thank you so much for pointing that out. You do have me for about an hour, so just kind of even relay the what's going on as well. If I just put that on pause, you could always see the schedule below. I want to just kind of point out we have daily creative challenges kicking off today with myself doing the Photoshop daily creative challenges for the next 2 weeks. We have Julia Masalska doing Illustrator, so that will be a lot of fun. 12:30 p.m. I think that this is Mountain Time. Yeah, oh yeah, let's scroll over. And XD with Brandon Gross. So you have daily creative challenges kicking off, so keep those in mind. All right, Sean, and welcome everyone from everywhere else. Yeah, I couldn't be more specific, could I? Just that's the vaguest sort of welcome you can ever have. But thanks for joining me if you're joining me elsewhere. So let's kind of dive into some more stuff now that you know everybody who's gonna be here, right? Let's get into some more exciting news for you. Let's do it. And we're back. Such an exciting video that totally did not work. Oh, Mondays. That's how you know it's a Monday. All right, but let's dive into this. That was just a quick video that I don't know why it didn't play. Who knows? It's set to loop. Begin playing when media becomes live. Oh, well. Nonetheless, welcome Maribel from Barcelona, Spain. Good to see you here. Also in news, I'm going to click through a lot of this. If I can maybe move myself over and stop looking in the wrong direction. I just kind of click through some of this. Again, this is like sort of selfish self-promo news from Adobe, I guess. We have silicon support for Apple's M1 chips for Illustrator now. So if you happen to have a MacBook, a new MacBook with the M1 chip, we have Lightroom, we have Photoshop, and we have Illustrator optimized for those chips. Okay, so in some cases you just have to get on the pre-release. Just like with any new hardware, we have to quickly build the software for it. So that's kind of where we're at. So Chris Georginas in the house. All right, Chris, do you want a new MacBook M1 by chance? I personally would like one, but I'm not complaining at all. So let's dive into some more news. Just kind of click through this really fast. If you guys are on a PC and you actually want to create, I don't know if you guys are familiar with good old AstroPad. So AstroPad lets you extend your desktop, right? So let's extend your desktop to an iPad. Okay, and it will give you additional controls. So let me just share my screen. What's new about this is it's available for Windows now. So if you happen to have a Windows machine and you're using an iPad, you can use AstroPad to connect the two. And this is what's special about it, because you're probably thinking, oh, that's no big deal. One, it's Windows to Mac, right? But you have additional options, just like on a Cintiq Pro, where you might have one of these little separate whole device just for your quick keys. It has it all on the iPad. So again, that's if you're on a PC and you have an iPad. Yeah, they just came out with that. It's called Project Blue. I thought that was cool. All right, moving on. Ooh, Work bought you a new one, Chris. Let's all get jealous. Oh man, that's cool. Yeah, check the specs. I'm curious, how all of that is going. All right. So yes. Also, to kind of remind you that we actually have there's a newsletter, and just so you know, or you're aware of the community forums that are out there as well. You can see this right here. Community forums, you can literally go to community.adobe.com, right? And pick the community that you want to check out. But also, Patty releases this lovely newsletter of all the updates. So we usually have admins running these. that try to keep you abreast of everything that is new. But I thought this newsletter was cool because it does kind of does a whole recap of everything that was released for this month for Photoshop specifically, just so you know. All right. Can you use a keyboard? Yeah, it's still the keyboard. Yes, you can use the keyboard shortcuts if you're using an iPad, an AstroPad. Yep. So for me, this device, by the way, is part of the this Wacom Cintiq 24-inch. That's what this is. It's too many buttons. I actually hardly use it. I still use my keyboard and my pen mainly, and then the Magic Mouse. So there's that. Oh, good. Thomas, good to hear from you. So Thomas says the Mac M1 totally rules for Photoshop and Lightroom. Truly magic. I did some tests, especially out of the neural filters take a while. But with the M1 chip, it seems like it's much more optimized. So that is pretty cool. All right. Sweet. Hopefully everybody can hear me well. I also want to kind of talk about things that you hopefully should kind of know about. I like this, fonts. And I think inuse.com, I don't know if you're aware of this site. Again, I'm just filing this under news because this might mean news to you. Fonts in use. You're like, I wonder what sort of brands are using, say, Helvetica, right? And you'll actually find that font in use out there. It's sort of in the real world. So these are good, just like little use cases, right? Of course, Helvetica is being used everywhere. I could actually pick something more interesting. Futura, for instance. The Futura, a bunch of Futura use cases, right? As we can see right in here, this poster. Jazz Jamboree 68. Wow. Okay, so you know how you could actually figure out what font is in use? And let's just take this. It's like, oh, this is cool. How did they do? I have to go to this site to figure out if what a certain font is. I'm just going to copy this image, jump into Photoshop, paste it in, select it, right? So I just have this text selected, and then we can go to type and down to match font. So you want to see whatever font is in use for a specific design because it happens to not be on the site, whatever the case may be, you can do match font, right? It'll go through, try to figure it out. It does this based on 16,000 fonts in Adobe Fonts, sort of the largest database of fonts, by the way. I don't know if that's 100% true, but I can't see how it couldn't be true. So it might give you the closest font related, but easily the one that I have access to. So you have Cooper Standard Black. You guys get the idea, okay? So you can go ahead and activate that and start to use that font. I think that's pretty cool. Love me some fonts. We'll get into that, Bruce, like, especially when it gets into free stuff. I like the idea of just, giving free resources for fonts because there's plenty out there. There can be some bad ones, but there's also plenty of good ones. I'm really into this one, though, as well. My font preferences are slowly changing this year, which is nice. Oh, Gaina's working on that. You didn't have enough RAM. Usually you don't have enough hard drive space to afford the cache in Photoshop. So that's I'd have to take a second look to really see what that's all about. But anyways, I just think Fonts as Use is just a fun place to go to check out your specific font that you like. Excadence Grotesque. Even down to it being used in video. Wow. That's cool. All right. Sweet stuff. Speaking of sweet stuff. Maybe I don't have it loaded up, but let me just jump over to this. Since we have Easter coming up, whether you celebrate it or not, I don't know. But either way, I just think this was interesting to have Pepsi launch a Peeps flavored Pepsi. So anyways, expect that kind of coming around. And again, it's just fun when brands do this. It's probably kind of gross, sounds way too sweet to me, but I think that's really cool when brands do this and they sort of collaborate, if you will. As you can see, Peeps brand, Peeps flavored Pepsi. Yeah, is everybody a little sick at that thought? Like, ooh, I don't know. Yes, Michelle, I like the names that they come up with for fonts. That's the hardest thing to remember. It's like the name of the font. Because there's no, I mean, they try to kind of make it tied in, but I'm like, what font did I just download? I don't even remember the name. Luckily, it gives you, when you use Adobe fonts, it gives you the recently installed fonts, just so you know, which is really cool. All right. What if I have a font I made and you saved it in the right format? There is an app to install fonts on your iPad. I'll have to look at my iPad. You could always message me, since I am on Instagram right here on this page. You could always like send me a message and I can check it out for you, because it's actually on my iPad right over there, and I could maybe check it out in a second. But PTRANI, just so you know. All right, so let's kind of switch gears and talk about creative work out there as well. And we're back. Hello. Oh yeah, so I use, just so you know, I use AnyFont. So AnyFont should allow you to install AnyFont on your iPad and then use it in your apps, okay? Also note that if you are using Creative Cloud, you have the Creative Cloud app, you can install Adobe fonts from the Creative Cloud app. That's what's going on right here, just so you know. So different ways to get fonts on your iPad. So hopefully that helps. All right. Yeah, Jordan wants to talk about that. So yeah, and I need to, you know, this is all about answering questions. I want to get into this. I want to answer that question, Jordan Lee, definitely. Okay, so I will do that under the questions section if you don't mind. But I have it up and I'll talk about that. But I want to kind of focus on new creatives because I want to give them a chance to shine. We have these amazing artists such as James Jeans, Bella Kotak, and Tegan White. I don't know if you guys are familiar with these amazing people, but we talked about them last week when I was with Sasha Vinogradova. But here's James Jean's work. I mean, come on now. Look at this amazing detail and strong use of color. This is just amazing. It reminds me of Van Gogh. You know, they're like, no, Van Gogh, you can't use blue as your dominant color. And he's like, yeah, I can. But that's brilliant. Just the color scheme there alone, aside from being amazing illustrations. I haven't read up enough on him, but you can see he actually works sort of with traditional media, but is undoubtedly pretty amazing. So anyways, I'm jealous. I don't know if you're jealous. Bella Kotak, on the other end of the spectrums, photography, right? Can show you lots of photograph, lots of Photoshop and Lightroom type tips. But you can see her, again, amazing work in here. There's no doubt that she's amazing. And she has a course, so you could actually go to the Color Lab and you can check out all of her Photoshop actions that she has for sale. So they are for sale, but this is kind of like how she's trying to bring out the brilliance of her images. I mean, they just look gorgeous if you take a look at all these. Like, just amazing. So anyways, I'm into it. Hopefully you guys are. Do you guys like Bella Kotak? Look at that. again, just like, it's like painting with light. She paints within that lens is kind of how I feel. I mean, look at that. Tell me that doesn't look like a J.R. Tolkien, like some Lion Witch in the Wardrobe thing or something. Just amazing. Again, look at that. Come on now. Stop it already. Stop being so good. I'm into it. Hopefully this is inspiring to you, huh? Doesn't it make you want to get two of your friends and say, hey, go lie down in the... lie down in that brush. Yeah, in that poison ivy over there, go lie down in it. I'm going to take a picture of you and it's going to turn out great. Right? We're seeing the best of the best, right, for her work. Right? She started somewhere and that's all we're asking anybody to do. Start somewhere, see what happens. You know, go from there. Very, very, just great lighting, man. Yeah, Bella Kotek is insane. Let's check out Tegan White. TEA, Tegan White. And again, I think falling kind of like in a similar vein as James Jean a little bit, but look at this. Again, really has a strong palette, kind of knows who they are when it comes to illustration, and just adds this amazing detail. Like, this is the weirdest thing I've ever seen. Like, I don't even know what to make of it, but I'm totally into it because, you know what, it's captivating, right? So you could see this in... I feel like I would see some of these illustrations in a children's book from like the 1900s or something. But again, really into Tegan White's work. Can we all agree? Jelly for sure. Look at this. Huh. Well, there we are. Children's. Sure enough. Children's illustrations. This even has a more friendly style, but I like her portfolio that I was showing earlier on her main page. Look at all this lovely detail. So anyways, I'm not sure what Tegan uses in terms of design or anything, but come on now. Last one. Look at this. I already gotta go, guys. Jeez, 5 minutes away. To answer your question, like, I have so much more I want to talk about. Good thing I have a chance. I was kind of talking about Float and using that on Instagram, just so you know. There's just a maximum of 8. You could have more than 8 layers, but the key thing is to, when you export out those layers really fast, if there are multiple layers, you go File, Export, Layers to Files, and right in here, don't trim layers. Each layer has to be the full size of the canvas for everything to be lined up. So that's Float. And that's kind of aside from everything else that's going on. Yeah. So if you guys have more questions, make sure you watch our Discord. And, of course, community.adobe.com. Yeah, this went by way too fast. Exactly. We used to do this an hour, and now we do it in 30 minutes. And I'm like, we might need more time. But good thing I have you for the Daily Creative Challenge, Photoshop Daily Creative Challenge, coming up next, which is going to be fantastic, right? And I'll even have this, leave up this free stuff for you, which is what we have going on, which is wonderful list of free resources. If you look at Pixel Surplus /free goods, free fonts there, just so you know. It started as an hour. You are right. Tunic, good to see ya. Everybody, hang out with me. I'm going to leave you with this list, if you don't mind, right, of free stuff, and then join me for Daily Creative Challenge coming up next. Thanks, everybody.